I make $42,000 a month. I've made that kind of money for almost 19 years, but my son has never known. He's never asked, and I've never told him. Because I wanted to see who people really are when they think you have nothing. And what I saw at that dinner table changed everything. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Lorraine. I'm 65 years old. I grew up in a 2-bedroom house in Beaumont, Texas, with a mother who cleaned hotel rooms and a father who drove a delivery truck. We didn't have money. We had love, and we had dinner on the table, and that was enough. I put myself through college working night shifts at a printing warehouse, got my degree in supply chain management when nobody even knew what that meant. Spent 20 years climbing the ladder at an international logistics firm. Today, I'm the Senior Vice President of Global Operations. I oversee distribution networks across 11 countries. I have a corner office on the 32nd floor of a building downtown that I've never once invited my son to see, because Marcus doesn't know any of that. To Marcus, I'm just Mum, the woman who lives in a modest house in the suburbs, drives a 10-year-old Honda, and shops at thrift stores. Not because I have to, because I choose to. I've always believed that money should be invisible. It should make your life easier, not louder. Marcus married Priscilla 2 years ago. Sweet girl, or so I thought. She works in marketing, dresses well, always has the newest phone. I liked her fine, but I'd never met her parents. That changed last month when Marcus called and said, "Mum, Priscilla's parents want to have dinner, everyone together. They picked a French restaurant downtown." I said I'd be there. Now here's where I made a choice. The same choice I've been making my whole life. I didn't dress up. I went to my closet and pulled out a wrinkled cotton dress I bought at Goodwill for $7. I put on flat shoes with a scuff on the toe. I carried a canvas tote bag I've had since 2011. No makeup, no jewelry, nothing. When I walked into that restaurant, it was all white tablecloths and crystal glasses. The kind of place where the waiters fold your napkin when you go to the bathroom. And there they were. Victoria, Priscilla's mother, was seated at the head of the table like she owned the room. Emerald earrings, silk blouse, hair like she'd just left a salon. Howard, her husband, sat next to her in a charcoal blazer, gold cufflinks catching the candlelight. They looked like they'd been practicing this entrance all week. Me? I looked like I'd wandered in from a bus stop. Victoria saw me first. She scanned me from head to toe, the dress, the shoes, the bag. Her smile didn't drop, but it froze. The kind of frozen smile people wear when they're calculating how quickly they can get rid of you. Nobody pulled out my chair. I pulled it out myself and sat at the far end, across from nobody. Like I'd been placed there to be ignored. Howard ordered a $300 bottle of wine without asking anyone. Victoria launched into their portfolio. 2 vacation properties, a timeshare in Turks and Caicos, their daughter's private school education. She dropped numbers like confetti. 500,000 here, 1 million there. I just nodded and sipped water. Then she turned to me. "And what do you do, Lorraine?" "I work in an office, small company, nothing exciting." She exchanged a look with Howard, the kind of look that says exactly what they think of you without a single word. Howard almost laughed. Victoria straightened her earrings and said, "Well, that's lovely. Honest work is important." Honest work, like she was patting a child on the head. The dinner went on. Every few minutes, Victoria would steer the conversation back to money. their house, their renovations, their trip to the Amalfi Coast. And every time she'd glance at me, just to make sure I was taking notes, just to make sure I understood the gap between us. Then came the moment I'll never forget. Victoria leaned toward me. She lowered her voice, like what she was about to say was confidential. "Lorraine, I want to speak to you woman to woman. Priscilla has worked very hard to build a certain kind of life. And Marcus, he's a wonderful young man. But a family is only as strong as the people around it." I waited. "I think it would be best, for everyone, if you took a small step back. Let them build their life without interference. We'd be happy to arrange a monthly contribution, say $800, just to make things easier for you. And in exchange, maybe you visit a little less, call a little less. Just give them room to grow." $800 a month, to disappear from my own son's life. She sat back, satisfied. Howard nodded like the deal was done. Priscilla looked down at her plate. Marcus stiffened. He said, "Mom, that's completely—" Victoria raised her hand. "Marcus, honey, adults are talking. Your mother understands." Everyone looked at me. I set my water glass down. I wiped my lips with the napkin, and I let the silence stretch. 3 seconds. 5. 10. I could hear the couple at the next table clinking glasses. Then I spoke, not loud, not angry, cold, measured. The voice I use in boardrooms when someone's about to lose a contract and doesn't know it yet. "Victoria, that's a fascinating offer. $800 a month to remove myself from my son's life. Let me think about that." She smiled. She thought I was agreeing. "But first, since we're being honest with each other, let me tell you who I actually am. Because clearly, nobody at this table has any idea." I straightened my back. "I earn $42,000 a month. I have for 19 years. I'm the Senior Vice President of Global Operations for Mercer Bradfield International. I manage supply chains across 11 countries. Last year, I signed a contract with the Department of Defense that your husband's entire law practice couldn't process in a decade. I have a pension, a stock portfolio, and a financial advisor who calls me every quarter just to tell me my money is making more money." Dead silence. Marcus dropped his fork. It hit the plate so hard the couple behind us turned around. Priscilla's mouth was open. Howard's hand was frozen on his wineglass. And Victoria, her face went from confident to confused to pale in about 4 seconds. I kept going. "This dress cost $7. I chose it. These shoes have a scuff on them because I like them that way. This bag has been with me to 12 countries and 3 board meetings this year alone. I came here tonight looking exactly like this because I wanted to see what kind of people you are when you think someone has nothing. And you showed me everything." Victoria stammered. You can't just... If you earned that much, someone would have told us." "Nobody told you because I don't perform my worth for strangers. That's the difference between us, Victoria. You need everyone to see your money. I don't need anyone to see mine." Howard tried to recover. "I think there's been a misunderstanding. You were trying to buy me out of my son's life for $800. There's no misunderstanding. The only thing I misunderstood was how low you'd go." The table went quiet again. The waiter approached. Someone had ordered the most expensive dessert on the menu. Victoria, obviously, rounding out the evening with a $90 chocolate soufflé. Howard waved the waiter over with his usual confidence. "We'll take the check." He handed over a sleek black card. The waiter came back 90 seconds later, looking uncomfortable. "Sir, I'm sorry. This card has been declined." Howard's face turned red. "That's impossible. Try this one." The waiter tried a second card. Same result. Declined. Victoria sat there, perfectly still, staring at the tablecloth like it had personally betrayed her. I opened my canvas tote bag, reached inside, and placed a single card on the white linen. Titanium grey, no name on the front, just a number. The waiter recognized it immediately. He picked it up with both hands and said, "Of course, ma'am, I'll take care of this right away." Victoria looked at that card like it had slapped her. Dinner was settled in 2 minutes. I stood up, put my tote over my shoulder, and looked at Victoria one last time. "Thank you for tonight, Victoria. You saved me years of pretending to enjoy your company. I came here to see if you had a heart. You answered that question before the appetizer arrived." She stood up. Her voice was shaking. "You humiliated us." "No, you humiliated yourselves. I just watched." "I speak 3 languages," she said, like that was supposed to mean something. "You could speak 10, Victoria. It wouldn't change the fact that not one word you said tonight was worth hearing." I walked out. The cool night air hit my face, and I exhaled for what felt like the first time in 2 hours. Marcus was right behind me. He grabbed my hand in the parking lot, the same way he used to when he was 5. "Mom, why didn't you ever tell me?" "Because I needed to know that you loved me when you thought I had nothing. And you did. That's all I ever needed." He drove me home that night. We didn't talk much. He just kept shaking his head and smiling. At my door, he said, "I'm sorry about them." "Don't be sorry. Just remember something. Money shows you who people are. Lack of money shows you faster." Priscilla called me the next morning, not to apologize for her mother, that came later. She called to say, "Lorraine, I had no idea about the offer. I would have stopped it." I believed her, not because she was convincing, but because she was crying. Real crying, not performance crying. There's a difference. I told her, "Priscilla, I don't hold it against you, but I need you to understand something. That woman raised you to measure people by what they carry. You need to decide if that's who you want to be." Victoria has not called me. Howard has not called me. And honestly, I hope they never do. I still drive my Honda. I still shop at thrift stores. I still carry that canvas tote. And every morning, I sit in my quiet kitchen with a cup of coffee and feel the same thing I've felt my entire life. Rich isn't what you show people. Rich is what you don't need to.